the music. You see the rock on from my boy Travis Thomas. I'm George Belichick. He's Double T. This is Foxboro Rush. T, day one of training camps here, baby.
Woo! Football season is upon us. Get some cold cuts. Can't wait, GB. Let's go.
What's to get some cold cuts from?
You don't remember the commercial with Icky Woods? He's at the deli. Get some cold cuts.
When was it?
Oh, just go on.
When was it?
1994.
I was born then. I don't remember that. I'm surprised that was even a thought. But yeah, that's the excitement I had. Get some coffee, get some breakfast, and drive down to Gillette. I'll say this, man. I, for one, just want to thank Judon Maye that he holds practices at 11 a.m.
Oh.
Head coach press conference at 10:30. Practice at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
Everyone gets to sleep in a little bit.
Yeah.
The traffic going south down I-93.
Yeah.
It doesn't take an hour and a half, 2 hours of bumper to bumper.
Right.
It's 44 minutes of just cruise control all the way.
Yeah. George, he's pleasant. He answers questions. There's an energy. There's a synergy to the whole thing.
There will be a learning curve to that of quit talking so much. But
yeah, well,
I just love what I saw from day one. We're going to get into all that and more. We're going to talk about our training camp day one storylines. Matt Judon spoke, practice, full participant.
Yep.
But also spoke with the media for 15 minutes. So we'll hit on some key quotes he gave us, and we'll go through our day one standouts as well. And also, Bill Belichick actually really could have coached and got a coaching offer in the NFL this season. We'll discuss if he should have taken it or not. But let's start with the training camp day one storylines. Right. For me, it's coming on the heels of Drake Maye coming out and saying Jacoby Brissett is our starting quarterback coming out of spring.
Yeah.
Out of spring into the summertime, Jacoby's QB1. But if Drake lights it up, he could be our week one starter. I'm not going to close the book on that. And a lot of people questioned if Drake Maye was being honest or not. I never doubted it because he is being fully candid and genuine with the fans, with the public, with his team, with Drake Maye, with Jacoby Brissett. And if for a guy to preach competition, I think that's an important thing. What he's saying to the whole team in his messaging, it's all about competition. That's how you get a great team. But if he was to say, no, Drake will not start week one, then it's like, what's his competition about then? But Drake Maye can put together a huge sample size showing that he is a more capable professional quarterback than Jacoby Brissett. If he does it all summer and preseason, they can't deny that. And what we saw was Gerard following his words with action. Because when we went through QB drills, it was Jacoby Brissett, Bailey Zappi, Drake Maye, Joe Milton, in that order. But when it got to 11 on 11 and 7 on 7s, T, they split the fields. Drake, Jacoby, you're with the ones and twos. Bailey, Joe, just go over there. We'll see. Just go there. And it was Alex Van Pelt. It was T.C. McCartney. It was Gerard Mayo. All eyes on Drake Maye and Jacoby Brissett seeing what they're doing. Juju Smith-Schuster, KJ Osborne, Jalen Polk, the top receivers, Pop Douglas, the top receivers that were participating, getting reps with the offense. Mixing in a little Javon Baker there as well with Hunter Henry, with Austin Hooper, with Ramondre Stevenson. No Antonio Gibson yet. But they split the reps between all that, which I think was key, and they kept it honest. You're both going to get quality reps. Jacoby Brissett, 10 for 13 in 11 on 11, 7 on 7 passing plays with an interception. Drake Maye, 6 for 10 with a sack. Wait, Jacoby Brissett got 3 more passing plays. Drake Maye tucked and second one, Reed not there. He went right up the middle. Would have been a solid game. Hopefully he would have slid if it was a real game. Showing off his athleticism. A lot of checkdowns from Drake Maye. Then he finally let it loose to me, the throw of the day, sending it down the right sideline to Jalen Reagor, who reeled it in with a one-handed snag. And this came after Drake Maye just outthrowing Jalen Polk, just overthrowing Jalen Reagor on deep passes against air. But you saw the ramp-up go, where Drake Maye was competitive. And Trav, you know what I loved about Drake Maye?
What's that?
I said this on Boston Has entered the chat too. The second he stepped on the practice field, I watched him. Everyone else did, whoever was attending. And then the stretching period happened. And you know what he did?
What's that?
He stretched with his teammates. He didn't make it all about him. And I saw Mac Jones with the false bravado, with the look at me dancing.
Yeah.
I'm a goofy white guy without any rhythm. That's what Mac Jones did for 3 years. And even when he sucked, it's like, dude, like you suck. Just stop and like concentrate on dancing. Like get focused, get locked in.
Yeah.
Drake Maye with all the hype around him and everything. You know what he looked like? Stretching. Not his size, not his stature, but just his actions.
Yeah.
He looked like one of the guys.
Ah.
I think that's so important for him to Just fit in with his teammates.
Yeah.
Get used to it. First training camp, definitely had jitters. And didn't try to overcome that. Or didn't try to put on some, phoniness. Exactly. Didn't try to project anything. He just went in, stretched, and got into his drills.
Yeah. Oh,
now,
okay.
Drake showed flashes, like the 50-yard touchdown pass to Jalen Reagor.
Yeah.
Better arm, better deep throw than Jacoby Brissett. But what I also saw was a lot of him going through his drills, the emphasis on footwork, the emphasis on fundamentals. And you guys listening, you guys watching will kill me in the next few weeks because I'm going to keep bringing it up. But Trav, what did I say in the pre-draft process? It's about his processing. It's about his footwork.
Yep.
He's still very raw.
Yep.
He's going to be a project. He's not going to start year 1, but year 2, year 3, that's when you want to hit the ground running with him. But you would see that in his dropbacks, 3, 5-step drops, deep drops. When he got to the top of his drop and went from the hitch to the throw, it wasn't all one fluid motion. Drop back, feet set. All right, slow down, be accurate, and make sure your feet stay in line with your eyes. Compared to Jacoby Brissett goes up, lets it go. Bailey Zappi goes up, lets it go. Joe Milton, same thing. You see the emphasis on fundamentals. It was good to see Drake Maye just out there on the field and Trav above it all. I saw a competent offense. I know it's year 1.
Sounds good.
Day 1.
Yeah.
No pads.
Yeah.
Joe Judge, Matt Patricia, that offense never got right throughout the offseason.
Never.
Bill O'Brien, you still saw the, what's happening here in the growing pains and the yelling.
Yeah.
It was everyone knowing what to do.
Yep.
It was an hour and a half of an acclimation period of getting up to speed, a long warm-up, getting everything right, and then boom, into game action. And we saw Jacoby Brissett. We saw Drake Maye. We saw Bailey Zappi all in a 2-minute drill type format.
Yep.
Different offensive line combos, different receiver combos. This kind of became an opening soliloquy for me. If you cannot tell, Travis, I am just so happy it's back.
Well,
I saw glimpses of what I want to see from Drake Maye. I'm going to go back down day 2.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what the next day holds, what will be different, what will be the challenges. I saw a kid, and you just see it in him. He can be a starting quarterback in the NFL for years to come. And that's what Patriots fans want in all this.
Years to come.
Yeah, I know what you're going to follow up with your question right now.
Well, I'm going to follow up with a few things. First
yeah.
of all, that was a beautiful intro.
Thank you, my friend.
So beautiful that I took some notes as you were going on. Some things I'd like to unpack because you left me a lot.
Okay.
First, I'd like to start with that Geico Get Some Cold Cuts commercial was 2014. So, joke's on you.
You're right.
That you don't.
Gotta get some cold cuts.
Now
Gotta
you know.
get some cold
Okay.
And then he spikes it.
Okay. It's coming back to you. Secondly, that intro was so beautiful, George. I'll be honest. Originally, according to my notes, on this very program, I predicted and said and stood by Drake Maye should start week 8 against the New York Jets at home, coming off the London trip against Jacksonville, which it's a home game for them because no one cares about their games in Florida. But in London, for some weird reason, they love the Jags. Well, George, now I wrote your daily reports where I am sure and certain, confident that you're going to give me these Drake Maye reports every day of how he looks better than Jacoby Brissett. Because if you look up check down Charlie in the dictionary, it's going to say, correction, check down Jacoby. Drake Maye, you said, tucked it and ran a few times. That's what he brings to the table. You know who doesn't bring that? Jacoby. I'm looking at the preseason. Something else I wrote down. Carolina, Philly, Washington. So, okay, I'm going to get these daily reports from you from camp. Check. I had 3 preseason games with the kid. Check. George, I'd like to change my vote. Drake Maye will not start week 8 for the first time. He will start in week 1 against Cincy on the road in the season opener for his first career start. I am here for it, and you still sticking to your guns that this kid shouldn't play this season is preposterous. And you know what's going to happen
I did not say he should not play this season.
Yeah, you did.
Let's strike back the record.
Years for come and the future. No, the future is now.
Week out starter starting week 15 this year.
Week 15? Please.
Look, Trav,
week 1.
He is the better thrower of the football than Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
Jacoby knows that. Drake knows that. Everyone in New England and the NFL
better
knows
athlete.
that. Better athlete by far. His first impressive completion was actually a play-action bootleg to his right. Soft spot to Jacoby Brissett. Juju Smith-Schuster. Drake Maye throwing passes to Jacoby Brissett.
He might as well, because he ain't going to be QB1. Jacoby Brissett might as well start getting reps at wide receiver.
Found the soft spot in the defense and completed it. But going through my logs, these were the reps from Drake Maye.
Okay.
Check down. Tuck and run. Bad ball control. Would have been a sack. Possibly a sack fumble.
Okay.
Handoff. Under center, P8 bootleg right. Find soft spot and coverage to Juju Smith-Schuster. Outside zone run, Kevin Harris. Then next time they're in 11 on 11s. Quick read to tuck and run, which I did like. Be decisive. Get it out of there quick.
Sure. Under
center, dropped snap. Bad quarterback center exchange. Run play. Maybe it would have been dead with pads on, probably.
Yep.
Incomplete deep left attempt to Jalen Polk. Short throw on an in-breaking route. Then he was sped up on the following rep.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about being the better quarterback in this system, keeping the offense on schedule. Because if you ask an Alex Van Pelt or a Ben McAdoo, West Coast guys, yes, I'm talking about Ben McAdoo here, a T.C. McCartney too. It's all about timing. It's all about staying on schedule. It's all about knowing where to go and what reads to make. The reason Brock Purdy is going to be worth his paycheck one day is because he takes a similar scheme and knows how to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Smart, accurate, decisive with the football. Not the best quarterback, but the smartest.
Yeah.
You saw a guy here in New England do it for 20 plus years, right?
Right.
When Drake Maye shows he is a capable NFL quarterback, he will get the start. And this is a snap to snap, drive to drive, quarter to quarter. Are you giving the team the best chance to win and doing your job? Man, I just sound like Bill Belichick.
Yeah, you do.
That's what it's going to come down to for Drake Maye. Is he that right now? No. Could he be that by week 1? Maybe. It would be a insane jump.
Yeah.
Both in his processing and his skill. The fact that the kid can't do a 3 to 5 step drop and all in one motion, let it go and be accurate and keep everything together, that tells me he's not ready yet. Could he do that by week 1? Yes. I believe Gerard Mayo when he says that.
Yeah.
Is it likely? I'll say no. So it's not about whether or not, and what you want as a Patriots fan, it's not whether or not he's starting week 1. It's whether or not he can be a starter for year 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. Because if he's done by year 3, you're in the same exact spot and you're tying your wagon to whatever the next kid is out of college.
I think that's a fair point, but I also think there's a flip side to your coin. I think as a Patriots fan, you should be willing to see year 1 to feel better about 2, year 7, year 8, year 9. And what I mean by that is if we go the George route of playing this kid post-bye week with what? A handful of games at best, 4 games left in the season. What the hell are you seeing?
What week is it? Indy game? That's the home game, right?
Indy's home, then it's a bye. You said week 15, right?
I want Colts. I want that home game before the bye.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. The game before the bye, right? Okay, that's week 13. So that's 5 games and a bye week. You're not learning anything.
You are.
What?
That's 5 games of real game tape. You are.
Listen, I think with what we're seeing, what you're seeing personally at camp in the preseason is plenty. Put the kid in, baptism by fire. I understand, and I know you're going to talk offensive line later, and I do get that. Fine. I do get that.
Okay.
But at this point, if he's progressing at the route you and everyone else is telling me that he is, I think he'll be ready by week 1. So what the hell are we waiting for the next 12 weeks when we know what we got with Jacoby Brissett and it ain't good?
It's day 1 of the summer without any pads on.
Fair.
7 on 7, 11 on 11s.
But
I'm telling you, the kid was checking down heavy.
Right, but we are going to see him in game-like action before the regular season is my point.
Yes.
So unless he's a disaster, which I get, but it doesn't sound like he's trending towards a disaster. In the preseason I'm talking about, George. So if we are going to watch this kid progress throughout camp, You already said you like his temperament. You already said, look, he had a couple rookie things, but he looked pretty good. Had a grasp on things. He's not going to regress, knock on wood. So then you get some game action in the preseason. Let's go. Burrow in the jungle week 1, kid. And then I feel better about year 2 and beyond, because even the good, bad, and the ugly and all the in-between, at least I got a sample size. I got to look at it. I can't get that from 5 games. You think you can. I don't think you can. I don't. Now, and I know we're getting to this. I keep teasing it. We're going to talk offensive line from what you saw today. But that is the only way in which I feel like, all right, look, if you think this kid's going to get decapitated in week 1, then don't put him out there. But even then, George, give Jacoby Brissett with the way this, and you brought up the schedule, at Cincy, home against Seattle, which we'll see, right? Feels coin flip-ish. You go to the Jets with that defense. We're assuming Rodgers is sober and healthy. Then you go out to the Bay to take on the Niners. I mean, that is a hellacious start. So that's where I was originally kind of in that week 5 mode against Miami. Maybe you consider it. But look, at some point, welcome to the NFL, kid. This is what it is. Your offensive line's not always going to be perfect. You're not always going to have weapons. This franchise owes it to you to build those things around you as we go. But at some point, son, you got to pull up your big boy pants and go out there. And so if he doesn't start week 1, I'm okay. I won't riot, but I tell you when I will. If we got to wait till week 13 at home against the Colts, which is what you want, and then the bye week after, so I'm not even watching him then, and then he finishes the season at Arizona, at Buffalo in the snow, home against the Chargers, and home against Buffalo, I can't get enough from that. Personally, I want him week 1 against the Bengals. The only exception I'll make is if this offensive line is so putrid that you think you're going to get him hurt. But you know what, George? I put more pressure on Alex Van Pelt than I do Drake Maye. Can we get some creative play calling?
You're going to get that. I didn't even get to that point.
Well, then he can pull off a creative play call. Jacoby Brissett can't.
Yes, Jacoby can. He was making those throws in day 1. And you said it. Unless he's a disaster, I want him to start. It's not about whether you're a disaster or not, where if he looks serviceable, it's if he can execute this system. And as Judon Maye said it too, again, credit to how honest he was. And it's also no duh because he's been in the league the longest. He goes, Jacoby is the best, most experienced professional quarterback we have right now. Emphasis on professional, running an NFL offense, added speed, added execution. Drake Maye can't even get a quarterback center exchange off on day 1 of training camp without pads, without any actual pass rush. He can't even get into a 3-5 step drop yet with an actual throw. And you know what he did after he hit Jalen Reagor on that deep right route down the right sideline? Went to his left, said F it, cocked one to Jalen. Polk overthrew him, which is fine. Polk was open. Get better touch on it, and then you have back-to-back successful deep throws. But it's about learning to go from, you don't have to be check down heavy. There's more than a read of a 1 to check down. There's 1, 2, 3. And it's also, okay, once you get the deep ball, don't force it again. And it's about eliminating those huge mistakes. And so it may not be an abject disaster of what we see in the preseason, but what is the decisions? What are the decisions that he's making? And again, is it the right decision? That's what this scheme comes down to. The timing, being on schedule. Now, as far as the playbook and what we're going to see, I was seeing pre-snap motions today. I was seeing 3 wide receiver sets with 1 tight end going back and forth behind the line of scrimmage.
I like that.
I was seeing Drake Maye with his running back out wide, bringing him in, trying to figure out if it's zone or man. Right. And Drake Maye making calls at the line of scrimmage, switching into a run play.
I love
that
this.
Sounds so anticlimactic, but let me tell you, sight for sore eyes.
Yeah.
He's calling plays at the line of scrimmage.
Yes.
And now again, in the shotgun, under center.
Yes. George!
You see this baseline things. But Trav, this is the offense as a whole. Like I said, 2 years ago, Matt Patricia and Joe Judge, training camp, no pads, with pads, 11 on 11, 7 on 7. They never had it down. Then Bill O'Brien comes in, doesn't have a full staff. This is Alex Van Pelt's show with a very interested Judon Maye, because I'm looking. DeMarcus Covington's calling plays on the sideline. Where's Judon? Oh, he's standing behind the offense. A former linebacker doing that? That's what's standing out to me, is that there is that baseline. there's that competency. I'm asking for the bare minimum. Can an offense have positive plays consistently? We'll see. And it's day one. You say if it keeps trending, you need more than one performance to evaluate and have a trend. So right now we have day one and they started from 0. So yes, they went plus. What's day 2 going to look like? And he's going to have that rocky day, that rocky start, that rocky practice, or 2 or 3. But let's see him pile them together.
So let me ask you this. He balls out all training camp. You like what you see with thine eyes in terms of his progression. Then he goes out in the preseason, and let's call it flashes. He shows you flashes of, man, this kid can play. There is nothing inside of you, no part of you that could see, hey, you know what? Let's go week 1. Let's roll him out there. Let's see what we got. Even at best, you're not willing to move up the timeline a little bit from a bleeping week 13 game?
I am.
You are. Where are you willing to go?
I would move
it ain't
up.
Week 1.
When he's ready, he's ready. It's on him. It's the competition isn't Drake Maye against Jacoby Brissett. It's Drake Maye against Drake Maye. When he's ready, he's ready. But we know he can make the throws, T. His arm's unreal. When he did decide to let it go, man, the zip on that thing. And I said, too, he walked out. Yeah. I always do it day 1. I'm like, who are the guys that look like football players?
Right.
Jalen Polk did. Chuks Okorafor did.
Okay.
Drake Maye did.
Okay. All right.
That looked like an actual NFL quarterback.
All right.
Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper, too. Both looked good for tight ends.
Yeah.
Look like football players.
All right.
I don't have to get into talking about guys' bases and legs and all that.
You love that stuff.
I'm sick.
You love this stuff.
But getting to that, yes, if he looks like he can run an offense.
Yeah.
Run an offense. Then do it.
Then do what?
Then go. Then start him and give him the reins.
Week 1?
But also.
Week 1?
But also if the offensive line's ready.
Week 1?
I'm not going to say week 1 yet. I got to see more than one practice.
All right.
But if he shows you everything you need to see through a huge sample size and he's undeniable.
Yes.
Like training camp in the preseason.
Yes.
And the offensive line is healthy and executing.
Okay.
And you're not having mistakes with communication.
Yeah.
Again, credit. Mike Onwenu was asked, how was the communication in the huddle? He said, all the quarterbacks were great. Remember Drake Maye in Hard Knocks? Reciting that play call right back to Brian Dable, no problem.
Yeah, I do.
Communicating plays to the offense was fine. Making checks at the line was fine.
Okay.
But it's what happens after the snap.
Okay. But
protecting yourselves, being smart with the football.
I felt like you were taking me somewhere. If the offensive line's healthy and protecting, if Drake Maye continues to progress in camp and the preseason, you would be open to a week 1 start from Drake Maye if all those things check off, George?
I don't care to put a date on it.
Oh.
When is Drake ready?
Okay.
I'll go with the Judon Maye on this. He's not QB1 right now.
Yeah.
But I'm open to him being QB1 whenever.
We going to get you there, dog. We going to get you there.
And we will talk offensive line, but nothing has stood out to me. Matt Judon and Von Godshaw.
Yeah.
2 of the best players up front on the defensive line outside of Christian Barmore and Keon White, but key pieces for this defense. Judon's 32. Godshaw's 31, both entering the last year of their deal. Like any NFL player, like any pro athlete, like anyone, they want financial security beyond this year.
Sure.
And by everything we were thinking, is there going to be another hold-in for Matt Judon? Full participants.
Yeah.
From the start to the finish of practice. Hand in the dirt, 11-on-11 drills, out there with the starting defense. Defense looked great, by the way. Then after, wasn't scheduled, Matt Judon held court with the media for 15 minutes. We have 2 bites I want to play for you guys. First one is on his overall outlook around the league and in the locker room. Play the bite.
It's tough, going into last year of the deal. You kind of look at everybody around the league and in the building, and you see them getting deals done and worked out. And it's tough to not be jealous or envious or something like that. But honestly, I gotta focus on myself. And I'm happy for those guys. And as much as everybody want to see me stay around here for a long time, it's really not up to me, bro.
I love that ending from Judon. It's really not up to me.
Right.
Yeah, obviously.
Right.
But he's saying it, looking around the league, seeing a DeMarcus Lawrence get $13 million a year. Alex Highsmith, Bryce Huff, $17 million a year. That's what's tough for him to see.
Yeah.
And then he looks around the locker room.
Yes.
Barmore, Duggar.
Yeah.
Ramondre Stevenson.
All young guys.
Mike
Onwenu.
Onwenu.
Right, George?
Getting extensions.
But they're young. right?
Right, 32. That's a key thing because of Bryce Huff, 26.
Yeah.
Alex Highsmith, 27.
Yeah.
DeMarcus Lawrence, 32 years old, but it's on the heels of the deal
But
he
I'm
has
saying
right
in
now.
the building, George, it's young guys getting the extensions,
Yeah,
right?
but even across the league, the oldest defensive end under a high-paid deal, Daniil Hunter went out, 30 years old, got 2 years, $48 million a year. But that's Daniil Hunter, who's premier.
Right.
Judon's important. And then he goes, yeah, if it's up to me, I would get paid. But yeah, it's the young guys. It's the young core.
Yeah.
And these are guys, I've told you, Trev, the schedule for this team is to be serious playoff contenders by year 3. Judon's 32.
Right.
So 33, 34, 35 is playing at this level. And what money are you paying him?
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's a tough spot because I actually understand both sides. Obviously, the Patriots you just laid out, like you got to think about the age. You got to think about the mileage on the player. He is coming off injury, right? So I get it. But then Judon not only is a baller, but he's also a leader.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's such a tight spot. I know you love the front office aspect of things, so I feel like you and I, in a different life, would be going head to head because I think you'd be in a front office being like, look, we can only give this player this much because of the X, Y, and Z. I'm pretty sure I'd be a black Jerry Maguire. I'm just telling you right now. Show me the money, okay? I'd be Judon's agent. And what I would try to do is I would try to get him a short-term deal with a lot of cash.
2 years.
And I think you and I could coexist in that world where you say, listen, he is valuable to my team in this we'll call it a transitionary period for the Patriots. He is a leader. He's here. I think showing up to day one of camp was huge. And even that soundbite, and I know we're going to play another one, but that is quintessential Matthew Judon, right? Like he's very transparent. He's very honest. He's very open, and he is a team-first guy because he showed up and he did the work. And he's telling you, yeah, I want to get paid. I haven't. We're going to try to work something out. I love that. So I don't know what he's seeking. Is it a long-term deal? Okay, well, if I am his agent, I'm saying we got to relax on that, bro, but I can get you some cash. So I hope that both sides. The other thing that's got to really tick them off, George, the Patriots have the money, honey. So it's like, look, you ain't going out and spending it on a top wide receiver unless you're telling me we're going to trade for Ayuk.
Or Higgins.
Or T. Higgins, then we can have a conversation. I'm sure Matthew Judon would take that. Like, I get it. But it ain't happening right now, and we're in camp. So I think they should break him off with a 2-year deal and give him the cash he wants. That's just me.
But a lot can happen between now and then.
It can.
And like you said, all those guys are young.
Right.
It's even looking at Juju Smith-Schuster running routes.
No.
He looks slim. He looks a little spry.
I'm in such a good mood. Why'd you do that?
But how many reps is Juju Smith-Schuster taking from Javon Baker, Jalen Polk, KJ Osborne? Kendrick Bourne's not healthy yet.
Yeah.
Shoot, man. They had Tyquan Thornton running underneath routes, not looking terrible. I was like, what's going on
Juju
here?
shouldn't even be here.
Yeah, but how many reps is he taking from those guys? So it's the same thing with Judon, right?
Yeah.
And it is. When you're building a team, it's now, it's a year, it's 2, it's 3, it's 5 from now at certain positions.
Right.
And Judon's in one of those. Now, asking about does he want to be in New England, he was asked that too. We got the sound for you guys. Roll it.
But y'all get to talk to me, and if it was me, I'd love to stay here forever. That's not up to me.
He was basically asked, and he was making the point of, you guys get to talk to Elliot Wolf, and then whenever, you only really get to talk to me. If it was up to me, I'd stay here forever. If it was up to me, I'd pay me. Yeah, of course. If it was up to me, I'd pay me too. If it was up to Travis, he'd be paying him the bag as well. But he's in a way too, he's also like letting it be known, like, I don't want to get traded. I don't want to be moved. I don't want to go anywhere else. Even though he's retweeting that these trade scenarios. He also claimed that someone else runs his Twitter. If someone else runs your Twitter, Matt, fire them. Basically, I'm saying I don't believe you. But anyhow, he's saying if it was up to me, I'd pay me. And of course, he finds it valuable. He's making the point of like, I'm not trying to leave. I just want to get paid. I'm 32 years old. When I'm at the height of my powers, when he's at the height of his powers, he's a top 10, top 8 pass rusher in this league.
Yes.
And guys like Jawan Bentley have said, you guys see how important he is. You know what he does for us.
He's a leader.
And in a secondary that's going through some change.
Yep.
We still don't know who is cornerback 2 opposite of Christian Gonzalez.
Right.
Kyle Duggar, Jabril Peppers. They're at the safety spot.
Can
Marte
Gonzalez
Mapu,
stay healthy?
going through a facelift, exactly.
Yeah.
Keon White Barmore making a jump, all this.
Yeah.
Jelani Tavai, Taki did not practice it. He's starting the season on the pup.
Right.
He's a great ad.
Yeah.
That is a Elliott Wolf guy. All this going into it. Matt Judon adds to this defense.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a defense, Trav. I want to see him win games. I want to see them be competitive. This is a defense that's going to have to carry this team.
Yeah, well, that's a reality of this team probably for the next couple of years. Let you tell it with Drake Maye, sitting until his fourth season. But look, I'm fine with his actions. Like, I understand what he's saying. I like the sound bites. I get it. But the thing that jumps out to me is that he's there. Like, just showing up. He didn't even have to talk to the media. I'm glad he did. We could run the sound. But showing up, participating tells you everything you need to know. And you know what else it does, George? It sends a message to the powers that be who are writing the checks. Like, okay, we haven't taken care of this guy yet, but look at how he's conducting himself as a professional, as a leader of this team. And I would think it helps make the decision easier for the decision makers.
And for him, he's not going to see another deposit in his bank account until week 1 hits of the regular season.
Right.
A lot can happen between week 1.
Facts.
Between now and week 1.
Yeah.
And that's what him and Devon Godchaux want. Guaranteed money. And remember, last year, Judon, he originally signed a 4-year, $30 million guaranteed deal. And he said, take the money from my last year, boost it up to now. He did the hold in last year, but he only conditioned off the side. He wants that again. Now, is it a bump up some money? Let's go with a 2-year deal. So basically a 1+1, we give you a 1-year extension add-on, but we give me money up front. It's what's happened before. Now, in past years,
right,
like a Stephon Gilmore, that ended in him being traded, but that was with Bill Belichick.
That was Bill. That was different.
Again, Matt Judon's a key piece. But Trav, also, too, this is a 5-6 win team. That's not a playoff team. Matt Judon mid-season could be a trade piece. And would he be a trade piece on a rental? What gets you a bigger return? Even the Patriots have to think about this. Trading him with... He'll be a free agent at the end of the season.
Right.
Or if you trade him, where there's team control for the rest of that season, the next season. But and I didn't come back to it right away.
Yeah.
The point you made is the best point. They got all this money, but they're trying to figure out that wide receiver 1 spot.
Right.
As good as Polk looked, as good as A.J. Osborne looked, he looked quick, good hands.
Yeah.
Pop Douglas back in action. I think he was cramping up at the end. He didn't end up finishing the practice. As good as those guys looked, you need a wide receiver 1 for this season and years to come. So maybe they're still waiting for the shoe to drop on that Brandon Ayuk trade. Maybe they're still making calls, checking into teams, seeing who they can get.
Yeah.
And the priority, because this defensive line is good. Keon White, Josh Uche, Christian Barmore. Their front 7 in general. Anthony Jennings, Jelani Tavai, who could line up everywhere. Jawan Bentley, who could be a leader. His front 7's good. His wide receiver group is one of the worst in the league.
I know the 49ers are loaded like the Avengers. But do you think, hypothetically, a Matthew Judon could be a part of a trade with the Niners for Brandon Ayuk?
They're paying Bosa. They're giving Leonard Floyd $10 million a year.
It feels like they don't need him, kind of, right?
Right, and that's a team because they did it last year with Chase Young, right?
That's right.
So it's thinking of those scenarios. Going through defensive lines around the league.
Yeah.
Niners don't need them. Jaguars don't need them. Giants, Steelers don't. Browns don't. Texans. Dolph, you're not going to trade him within the division.
No, you can't do that. He'll
Going
destroy
outside
you.
of the AFC. If an injury could happen to a contender like the Eagles.
Right.
If the Seahawks see themselves in a better spot.
Right.
That could happen too.
Yeah.
Cowboys, same thing.
Yeah.
You never know. But it's going through these teams around the league and thinking of who needs a pass rusher and also going outside of the division. There's a lot of good DNs out there. But what we're talking about now, and you know what? That's something, let's put a pin in it. Let's put in the next episode of Foxboro Rush.
All right.
If it gets to that, I would like that we be talking about Matt Judon coming to an agreement and moving on.
Me too. Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
But no matter what, it was good to see both him and Devon Godchaux full participants. Last one I want to hit on quick.
Okay.
Starting offensive line.
You love this.
With Jacoby Brissett. Chukwuekorfor left tackle, Sidney So left guard, David Andrews at center, Mike Onwenu at right guard, Calvin Anderson back looking big in a good way at right tackle, The twos, Videri Lowe at left tackle. That surprised me. Michael Jordan at left guard. Nick Leverett at center. Mike Onwenu at right guard. Caden Wallace at right tackle. Or, same left side, the right side was Layden Robinson, the rookie, and Calvin Anderson at right tackle. The Patriots are playing with what's the best on the right side. Looking at Onwenu with Calvin Anderson. Looking at Onwenu how he plays with Caden Wallace. And helps those guys out. So, that's that. We got to get to this. This is your favorite part.
Okay.
Bill Belichick politely turned down the opportunity to join Kyle Shanahan's coaching staff in San Francisco. Now, Kyle Shanahan went to Bill Belichick out of respect. He was like, dude, that's the GOAT. That is the greatest coach of all time. I know who he is.
Okay.
And I went to him like, hey, you want to come help out?
Yeah. Oh, help out.
My vacant DC spot, you want to come be a defensive coordinator? And he said Bill Belichick politely declined.
Yeah.
What Bill's doing instead, he's helping out his son, Steve, who's on the coaching staff up at Washington now, the University of Washington. He's helping him in that role. You know, be a consultant. Talk to his son. And they've been coaches together for a long time, obviously.
Sure.
Are you more surprised Bill turned it down or more surprised Shanahan offered it?
Neither. C. It's insulting. Bill Belichick, you just said it out of your mouth, is the GOAT. You don't go to the greatest of all time as a head coach and say, hey, Bill, I know you got some free time. I see what you're doing with your dating life, but why don't you just come on to the Bay and be a defensive coordinator with me? Oh, my God. Good for Bill to be polite. I mean, my goodness gracious. I'd have cussed that kid out. Who are you, bro? I mean, I coached against your father. How dare you come to me talking about some damn defensive coordinator to work for you? How's this sound, son? If you don't get it done and win the Lombardi, I'll come for your job. Not no damn defensive coordinator. I'll be the head coach. I'll pass Shula. I'll get a Lombardi with your team in the Bay. Don't be offering me no damn defensive coordinator job. How dare I looked at him like this? How dare you?
You know,
that's insulting.
You know what Kyle Shanahan is? He's posted up at the bar in Southie, hanging with his boys. Been there, done that same thing, right?
Shout out to Stats in Southie. That's my spot.
And someone walks in, and he goes, "Oh my God, it's her." And he goes, "This is not going to end well. Out of my league, out kicking my coverage." Walked up, asked to get for the number, didn't get it. And you know what he did? He turned around, went right back to where he started at the bar with his boys. Shot his shot. So I'm not going to knock Kyle Shanahan for doing that.
I guess.
At all.
I think it's insulting.
Yes, he's the greatest coach of all time.
Yes.
Yes, he should be a head coach over Raheem Morris. But guess what? He got picked. But hey, Bill, why aren't people picking you? Oh, because you want full control of the team? Come be the DC. Defense is laid out for you. We are the best roster and best team in the NFL. I have the quarterback situation figured out. I have the offense figured out because you can't do that. Dumbass. You can say that.
Fair.
Come over, be the DC, lead this defense, get a, how many did he win with the Giants? 2? Get a non-Lombardi trophy.
Yeah.
And then guess what? You're in the game right now. You're closer to the NFL than you'd be right now with being away from the game altogether.
Yeah.
You're that much closer to a good head coaching job. Being away from the game that has passed him by, what is he going to get? The Saints? He could get he won't get the Jets. He won't
Poor
take that.
Saints
They won't
catching
offer it.
strays.
The Saints suck. They're in hell.
They are.
They're stuck with Derek Carr. They're stuck in cap
They're
hell.
in hell.
They have
They're
no
in hell.
identity
You're
at
right.
all. Right?
They're in hell.
At best, now he could get the Cowboys either way, and you know what I said. Jerry calls him. Listen,
how do you
listen,
poo-poo
Bill.
that, George?
But
you can't poo-poo that.
You're going to be in a better situation if you're actually around the game.
Why?
And you know what, Bill? You want to get that record? Now I'm talking to you. Travis, you're Bill.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Hey.
Yeah, Kyle.
Once Golden Boy left, you messed it up. You ran New England into the ground. And it's your fault. This is what you need. Here's a slice of humble pie.
Yeah.
Go be a DC for a year. Go show them you can do it. And Jacksonville, Philly, Dallas, you know what you get if you become the defensive coordinator of San Francisco and win a Lombardi, or just do it for a year and lead another top 3 defense? You know what you get, Bill? You get options. Yeah. You know what you get by staying up in Nantucket all year? You get New Orleans. No one wants New Orleans. Go do it. It's his ego, though. He's not going to do that, Trav.
Yeah, he's going to say, look, kid, I beat your father, and I beat you in a Super Bowl, too. So I'll just wait for you to get fired, and I'll take that job.
He's not going to get that job. Hey, Bill, but you know what? Say I get fired. You know what's better?
Yeah.
You actually being in the building and knowing the people. If I get fired, you know what they're going to do? I'll tell you right now, Bill, you know what they're going to do? They're going to make a phone call down to Houston to a guy that they know, Bobby Slowick.
No,
he was my passing game coordinator. Look at what DeMeco Ryans did.
Why would you fire Shanahan and then get his clone?
He learned in a bigger role because it's Kyle Shanahan's game decision making's within the game management. That's a shortcoming. It's not the scheme.
Kyle's had great defensive coordinators, dog. You just talked about DeMeco Ryans. Robert Saleh was great. He's had a number of them. It's him, bro.
It's him.
He's the problem.
Drake Greenlaw going down, torn Achilles,
could say that.
Being stuck with Jimmy Garoppolo in the Super Bowl, or when he needed to come back against the Packers.
So now we're making excuses. George, let's go with this.
Players got to play.
Okay, hold on. Stay with me. Bill takes the job. He's DC. Okay, Niners, #1 defense in the league. And then what? They choke in the postseason? Who's going to get blamed for that? Bill? Please.
Shanahan.
Bill should do exactly what he's doing now. Money grab media on a show on CW no one watches. He's got a young girlfriend, keeping him young. Like, bro, sit this out. Wait. You'll have your pick of the Eagles, Cowboys, and potentially the Niners because I think they're tired of Kyle blowing it.
I don't think they're even close to that. They're reading the room, and they know they have to go all in on this roster right now. And what better for Bill? Takes over San Francisco, defensively. Gets in the air like, you're going to trade Ayuk to the Patriots? I'll talk with him.
He would do that.
And you know what,
He would sabotage. He would do that.
Bill, the defensive-minded guy, is a genius.
Yeah.
That defense was still elite last year with a lot of injuries. Judon, Gonzalez, right? All these guys banged up. By the end of the year, it was Alex Austin as a starting cornerback. Jack Jones kicked off the team, right? Marcus Jones going down. Just named 3 of their top 3 corners, all right there, not Alex Austin. And he still let them. But you know what? As I've said it before, his undoing as a head coach is his insecurities in building a coaching staff. And if he went there and Matt Patricia came and Joe Judge came and Josh McDaniels came in some facet, it would be the retread. And it would just break down the culture and burn it down. Yeah.
You and Kyle Shanahan both are insulting. You just said, Bill Belichick's still a great defensive mind. I think Bill Belichick can coach. What Bill Belichick can't do is GM worth a damn. So you can't give him power. But if he's willing, it's not the humble pie he needs to take to be a coordinator. That's insulting. He needs a humble pie of Bill. We can't give you power here, brother. We just need you to coach. Can you handle that? And I think he still has something in the tank. But you and Kyle both. I mean, the way you talk to this guy, like you're talking to a made guy here. And you're just, well, I think you could still defensive coordinate in this league. Come on, man. I think the guy can coach. You just can't give him any power, George. You and Kyle Shanahan should be boys. I mean, y'all are just ridiculous.
We should do a who are the made guys in the NFL.
Bill's on the list, bro. He's the
Apparently
Don.
Not.
He's the Don.
You always get taken care of if you're a made guy.
Yeah.
You know who wasn't taken care of this offseason? Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a job.
Yeah. Can't argue that. I still don't think it doesn't mean he can't coach. I think it's probably more that teams don't want to give him power because we saw, especially around here, how that goes.
You know what? Humble enough as is, we'll see if it changes next coaching cycle.
Yeah.
And every year he goes without a job, you add on 2 points to the monthly payments. That's how it works.
Yeah.
You're a made guy. It's envelopes light, Bill. What's happening here?
You real Jersey right now. You being real Jersey right now, George.
You miss it.
You being real Jersey.
You miss the dirty. I know it.
I do.
But we had peace. For anyone that listens to the chat, I spoke with Colt. We're all good. Him and him are on good sides. That's my guy. Little Colt and Mr. George, we're all good.
He said, quote, Jersey doesn't stink anymore, Daddy. I said, that's right. Show love to Mr.
I showed him the garden in the Garden State. Hey, he's Travis Thomas. I'm George Belleci. This is Foxboro Rush. New episodes dropping every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Make sure to catch Boston has entered the chat, dropping daily Monday through Friday as well. Hold My Banner Celtics podcast every Monday, Wednesday, Friday as well. Wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, Amazon Prime, like, subscribe, rate, review, wherever you watch them on Nesson's YouTube or Nesson Twitch. Please subscribe as well. Follow along. Follow us on the social media channels. Training camp's here.
Yes!
The fun's only begun. See you guys.